Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about what I think could be something along the lines of what we could see for the physical Vegito Blue EZA, as it was just announced on Global yesterday. Recording this video on February 17th, and I think it is scheduled to release in a week from today, so February 24th is when that should come out. And I think we should expect to see the details posted on the Twitter account, the global Twitter account, probably around, I don't know, the 21st, 22nd, something like that. Before we get into this, I just want to mention that a lot of people were disappointed with the AGL Super Vegito EZA, and I think that was mainly because the development team was pretty much just scared that he would become too good if they changed him too much, and that's mostly due to the counters that he has. And if you guys know what this physical Vegito Blue does, he has counters and also additionals. So I think we're going to be seeing a similar situation here with this physical Vegito Blue as we saw with the AGL one, where they're not going to go all out. They're not going to make this guy like insanely busted. His buffs are going to seem very underwhelming, but in fact he's going to be very good. So even if you give this guy like the smallest of buffs, he's still going to end up turning that into something like insane. Just because the way that's the way this guy works, right? This guy is doing a lot. He's doing counters and additionals, up to 2 in a turn. So I mean, it can get out of hand very, very fast. So that's just a forewarning to you. I did try and make this as realistic as possible when designing my, sort of like what if card. So a lot of people are probably going to be disappointed by this video in what I decided to go with. But I think it's just the most realistic situation for what we have for this card. So first, let's go over what the base card does right now. This is Super Saiyan God, a Super Saiyan Vegito, Azure Omnipotence. He is a superclass, Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 50% leader. Super attack is Final Kamehameha, causes immense damage to the enemy. That's no effect on there. His passive skill is Unfathomable Speed, great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a chance to become a super attack. Damage received from normal attacks minus 30%, and then counters with tremendous power. And then his links are not going to change just from an EZA. No one's links changes whenever they get Extreme Z Awakened, so those will remain the same. His links are very, very good, and that's another reason why I could see them being hesitant to change this, because he does have Prepare for Battle and Over in a Flash, as well as like Fuse Fighter. Super Saiyan's also a very good link. I mean, even like Kamehameha is getting pretty common, even though it doesn't really do that much. But he's going to link up really well on the Last Resort team, on the Patara team, on Realm of Gods. Even you got the Over in a Flash with the new LR Tech Vegito Blue. You got LR Super Saiyan God Goku. A lot of those guys have Over in a Flash now. So yeah, that's what we got for pretty much the existing card. Now let's go and take a look at what I came up with for the EZA for Vegito Blue here. These are the stats, by the way. These are definitely set in stone for what we're going to see. HP is 18,061, and then the attack is 19,136. That is like approaching LR levels of attack. This is obviously at the rainbow level, by the way, just so you guys are aware. So that's a lot of attack, and if you combine that onto like a counter unit that has additionals as well, like that's one of the reasons why I don't see them going like, oh, 100% attack and defense start a turn. Like, they're not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. Now, he does have 10,194 defense after his EZA, so that is a little bit low in comparison to other units that are even not EZA'd right now. Like AGL Zamasu, I know has like 11,000 something defense. Even just, he's a plain TUR. So I think they could really focus on the defensive side of this card, because offensively, this guy, literally they could just put this guy out without changing anything in his kit, and he would be good offensively. Like, they could literally do nothing, and he would be just fine. So, I mean, what I ended up doing here is I ended up focusing more so on this, trying to get that to look more impressive for him, as opposed to this, because this doesn't really need too much cushion there. There's already plenty of space for that to look impressive. So those are the stats we're going to get. That is all, again, this is 100% confirmed. They use the same formula every single time they EZA a unit, and this is what we'll see from him as we go when he gets his EZA. So scrolling down, we have the leader skill. Okay, so this was a little bit... I wasn't really sure how to handle this. I gave him Superclass Ki +4, HP attack and defense plus 90%. We did get the EZA for the merged Zamasu, the tech one. If you take a look, I can actually pull up a window here. You can go into the JP version, Extreme Z. There's so many units on JP that have got Extreme Z Awakened. Where is Zamasu? There he is. Go into EZA here, scroll down. He gives Extreme Class Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 100%. And what he used to do is, he used to be Ki +1, and I believe it was 70% to all stats. So he gained 2 Ki, 30% stats. This Vegito Blue gave Ki +3 and then 50% of stats. So I thought, I didn't think they were going to do 100% here and then do Ki +4, because that would be directly power creeping the Zamasu who just got his EZA. And then, you know, obviously eventually we'll get the Trunks EZA, the int one, and then he would be just a flat out worse leader than this guy would be, but I don't think they would do that. So I ended up giving him 1 extra Ki and then a 90% to stats, which I think is reasonable. I mean, it's definitely usable. It's not terrible, but it's not great. The extra Ki definitely helps out LRs that you might want to include on this team if you want to put this guy as your leader, but I don't think this leader skill is like what we're all here for. So let's keep going. We do have the super attack here. This is where we start to see where it might seem a little bit underwhelming. Now just remember, the original card that we have in the game right now does not do anything on super attack. He literally just does immense damage. That's it. There's no effect at all. Every single, I believe every single EZA we've gotten for a Dokkan Fest exclusive has buffed the super attack in some way. Obviously, he's going to be getting super attack level 15. That's going to help a lot just in itself, right? But I'm talking about like the effect for it. So the fact that this guy does get the extra 2 attacks, so he has those 2 extra chances to, you know, stack defense here. I didn't want to go too crazy. I initially had this as raises defense for 3 turns, which I think is too good for this guy. Because if this guy, let's say this guy does 3 supers in 1 turn, the next turn he's on rotation, he's going to retain those stacks of defense, and then he's going to have that turn to stack even more defense, and then it just gets insane. I think the 1 turn stack is fine for this guy because it'll help a lot. Obviously, it'll kind of hurt him in the sense that he'll want to be either second in rotation or possibly first, depending on how many times the enemy's attacking, but this is going to help greatly after super attacking, obviously. And the reason why I didn't go with giving him attack on a super attack effect is because that goes directly into the counter multiplier. We see that with the AGL Super Vegito. So the AGL Super Vegito, let me just pull his details up real fast so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. We'll go over here. I think he is right here. So actually we need to pull up a different window, I believe, just to see this. He gives all allies attack plus 35% on his super attack effect, which applies to him. So when he super attacks, he's giving himself 35% attack, and I'm sure you guys, if you've used this guy at all, even pre-Awoken, he gives 30% attack. He's still going to be doing a lot more counter damage after super attacking, because that 30% attack, that 35% attack goes literally directly into that multiplier for the crit. I mean, for the counter damage. So I think if you were to give someone like this Physical Vegito Blue an attack stacking effect in a super attack, I think it would just be too good. Because it would affect his counter so much. Like the fact that Super Vegito has that is fine because he can only super attack twice max, whereas this guy can super attack 4 times max, and that can get just nuts after a while. So I think just leaving it at defense is fine. And then 1 turn, I think this obviously doesn't look too impressive, but I think in practice this will actually be a lot more effective than it looks. So that's what I went for super attack, and then we're gonna scroll down and get into the passive. So here we go. Passive skill is Unfathomable Speed. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a chance to become a super attack. So this literally has not changed at all since from the original card that we have right now. This is unchanged. Okay, here's where things get interesting. attack and defense, and chance to evade enemy attacks plus 4% for each attack performed, up to attack and defense plus 40%, and chance to evade plus 30%. And then damage received from normal attacks minus 40%, and then counters with tremendous power. So this part, I just gave him 10% extra reduction on normal attacks. I think that's fine. I don't think they'll give him more than that, especially with how I built him with extra defense and stuff. So I think that's good enough. Now this part, I sort of built this similar to how Tech Vegito Blue operates, because Tech Vegito Blue, he gets 15% attack every single time he attacks, up to a max of 150%. And I think they probably would do this in a similar way. I mean, you can also do this where he gets this on like receiving attack instead of doing an attack. But that actually calculates separately, as far as I'm aware. This does not. This is just, you know, directly start a turn effect. So I believe that's how it works. But I mean, it's just, it's hard to really justify giving him more than that. I think 40% is where I'm comfortable giving this guy attack and defense, and then he's also getting the 30% chance to dodge. Again, I do want to reinforce his defensive areas more than his offensive areas, because I don't think he needs help at all offensively. I think 40% attack that's fine. 40%, he's going to be super attacking multiple times, he's going to be countering. It's fine, it's good enough. I mean, I was considering at first I had, instead of evasion, I had crit, but it was not 30%, it was 20%. So initially it was attack and defense plus 40%, and chance to perform a critical hit plus 20%. And I think that's too good, because giving him so many chances to crit, because think about how many times he's attacking. He's attacking most of the time he's going to be having 4 attacks in a turn, with the additional from the potential system, and then he's also going to be countering. So I don't know, maybe 7 times he's going to be attacking in a turn, and you give him extra crit, that's going to amount to a lot of extra damage. And I think I'm more comfortable giving him dodge, because again, I just think defensively that's where he's lacking more, and it would make him more of a desirable option on something like Super Battle Road to give him, you know, more defensive options there. So this is what I went with. I understand why a lot of you might be disappointed, because, you know, obviously it's not what we all want. We all want attack and defense plus 100%, chance to perform a critical hit plus 50%, and then, you know, perform 4 additional attacks. Like, that's what we all want, but realistically it's just not going to happen. And then after seeing what they did with the AGL Super Vegito, it's unfortunately not... He's not going to be the best unit in the game. This guy's not going to be... Like, they could easily do that if they wanted to. They could just be like, okay, yeah, just, you know, give him whatever you want, and he'll just be the best unit in the game again. Well, I don't know if he ever was, but he was close. But let me know down below what you guys think about this. I tried to make it as realistic as possible, as I mentioned throughout the video, and hopefully, you know, when they release the news and they announce what this guy finally does, it'll be better than what I have, but I'm not going to have my hopes up, because AGL Super Vegito was not a big... they didn't really blow him out of the water. I mean, he's very good, don't get me wrong, and I think they did a decent job with how they handled that, but I think this guy will get the similar treatment to how the AGL Super Vegito was handled. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below what you guys think and what you think I could have done differently in this, and I will see you all in the next one.